Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the hidden forces that actually shape our entire world. I mean, look around you right now. You see towering skyscrapers, massive shipping containers, chaotic stock exchanges. It is so easy to look at the global economy and see this giant, complex machine made of cold, hard math and heavy industry. But what if I told you the entire global economy actually runs on an engine that you can't even see? So that brings us to this massive question. What really runs the entire economy? We see the outputs everywhere, right? The goods, the services, the paychecks, but the actual core engine making it all move? It's completely invisible. And I'm willing to bet the answer is not what you might instinctively assume. Okay, let's dive into this. We usually credit tangible assets for all that economic power, things like physical money, gold, or cutting-edge technology. We literally track these things obsessively on the news every single day. But the real engine? The ultimate driver behind all of that wealth? Well, it isn't physical at all. It is simply confidence. Seriously, every single day, millions and millions of people make massive financial decisions based purely on what they believe is going to happen tomorrow. And those collective beliefs, all on their own, have the power to determine whether economies grow, stagnate, or completely collapse. Let's break down exactly why confidence might just be the most important force in all of finance. Section 1. The ground level, consumers and businesses. To really wrap our heads around this, we need to look at how this abstract concept of confidence plays out in the real world, right at the microscopic level. So, imagine a local restaurant owner. If they expect sales to be strong, what do they naturally do? They hire new waiters, they buy new ovens, they expand. But what if that exact same owner suddenly gets a bad feeling and fears a recession is coming? They immediately stop hiring, they delay those investments. Notice that absolutely nothing physical changed in their business overnight. Only their expectations changed. Yet the real-world outcome for the economy is completely different. And it's not just business owners either, it's us. Consumer confidence is basically defined as the degree of optimism that consumers feel about the overall state of the economy and their own personal financial situation. Remember, we, the everyday consumers, drive a massive part of economic activity. Our personal feelings of job security literally dictate the flow of capital everywhere. And this brilliantly illustrates how a psychological feeling turns into tangible math. It's basically a chain reaction. Step 1, you feel secure in your job and your income. Step 2, because of that security, you increase your spending. You confidently go out and buy a car, book a trip, or decide to renovate your home. Step 3, businesses see that higher demand and they grow to meet it. A simple feeling of security in your mind literally just built a new kitchen or manufactured a brand new vehicle. But here is the warning, and it's a big one. This engine works in reverse just as powerfully. When confidence drops, spending slows down. People hold on to their cash. And because they hold on to it, businesses don't make sales. In fact, historically, just the mere fear of a bank failure has caused actual, perfectly healthy banks to collapse simply because panicked customers rush to withdraw their cash all at once. The fear of a crisis can actually cause the crisis before anything goes wrong. Moving on to Section 2, the amplifiers, markets and banks. If everyday consumers and Main Street businesses are the ground level, large financial institutions act as massive global amplifiers of these feelings. When we talk about institutional expectations, we are talking about billions of dollars moving literally at the speed of thought. Financial markets are heavily influenced by expectations. Stock prices often move simply based on what investors think will happen in the future. News, earnings reports, economic forecasts, they can shift billions across the globe in minutes, all based on a feeling. Let's move to and see how this builds across the entire financial ecosystem. Under a scenario of optimism, lending rises, markets climb, and businesses expand. It's a booming cycle. But under fear, lending completely freezes, markets drop, and businesses stop hiring. The banks and markets basically multiply whatever the baseline sentiment is, projecting either optimism or fear on a massive systemic scale. Let's look a bit more specifically at how banks rely on confidence to even function. First, banks have to trust borrowers, period. When that trust is there, they approve and lend out money. Those loans are the lifeblood that helps businesses expand and helps families purchase homes. But during uncertain periods, a lack of trust completely slows down lending. And less lending instantly means less economic activity. The money might be physically sitting right there in the vault, but without trust, it goes nowhere and does absolutely nothing. Section 3. The feedback loop. Perception becomes reality.
Now, what's really interesting about this is where we enter an inescapable, continuous cycle. Step 1. Our confidence impacts our behavior, whether we decide to spend or save. Step 2. That behavior physically shapes the health of the economy. Step 3. The new, resulting state of the economy then impacts our confidence all over again. It is a loop where human perception literally manifests right into physical reality.
And the stakes of this feedback loop, they are incredibly high. On one side, optimism fuels growth. People feel good, they spend, businesses hire, so people feel even better. It is entirely self-sustaining momentum. But on the flip side, fear accelerates decline. People panic, they stop spending. Businesses fire workers to save money, which just makes people panic even more. Both upward growth and downward declines feed entirely on their own momentum. Section 4. The human element. Lessons from history. When we zoom out and look at the big picture of historical events, history shows us over and over again that economics is definitely not just about dry numbers and charts. Look at the Roaring '20s, a massive economic boom driven almost entirely by the collective, euphoric belief that the future was just endlessly bright. Conversely, the 2008 financial crisis spiraled so rapidly because trust between banks evaporated practically overnight. Understanding the psychological element helps explain why economics is fundamentally about human behavior. It's really the study of us. Let's contrast these two layers of the economy just to make it super clear. Yes, the physical layer absolutely exists. The factories, the businesses, the workers, the physical currency, we see it, we touch it. But beneath all of that lies the invisible layer: trust, confidence, expectations. That invisible layer is the true foundation that holds all the physical bricks together. Without trust and expectations, the factories literally power down. So the crucial point is this: what people believe about the future often shapes the future itself. I really want you to keep that in mind the next time you're reading global economic news. You aren't just reading about interest rates or stock tickers. You are reading about human psychology on a mass scale. In finance, our collective beliefs literally write tomorrow's reality. Which leaves us with the ultimate variable in this massive, invisible engine. The economy isn't some distant robotic machine. It is made up of all of our collective expectations. Your choices matter. So as we look toward tomorrow, how confident are you?